Chosen ones, stop scrolling right now and lock your attention on this exact message. You did not find this recording by accident. The universe orchestrated this intersection in time because a massive shift just occurred. Their dark plan failed. The group of people who whispered about you expected you to be completely broken by now, but you are still standing. They thought they had you backed into a corner. They launched a silent campaign against your character while you were not looking. They smiled warmly in your face, but they plotted your sudden downfall in secret rooms where you could not defend yourself. You felt the heavy shift in the atmosphere. You knew something was terribly wrong, but you could not prove it. Your intuition was screaming at you every single day. Think back to the last 72 hours. The sudden exhaustion you felt was not normal at all. You woke up at 3 a.m. with a racing heart and a deeply heavy chest. You felt incredibly drained even when you did not do any physical work, and you probably thought you were losing your mind. You assumed it was just deep sadness. But that invisible weight was not yours to carry. That extreme exhaustion was intense spiritual warfare. Your spirit was fighting unseen battles while your physical body tried to sleep. The group directed massive amounts of toxic energy toward your life. They wanted you to feel isolated and completely alone. They wanted you to question your own sanity and your divine purpose, but heaven was acting as your ultimate shield. They looked at the calendar and marked a specific time for your ruin. They expected you to lose your peace and react with blinding anger. They desperately needed you to lash out so they could play the victim, because that was their entire twisted strategy from the very beginning. But you stayed completely silent. You did not give them the chaotic reaction they desperately needed to validate their lies. And because you stayed quiet, panic is now flooding their camp. They are watching you closely and wondering how you survived the fire. They expected you to be spiritually dead by this upcoming court date. They thought the heavy burden would crush your spirit permanently. But they severely underestimated the profound light that lives inside your DNA, and now they are terrified of your strength. You have been walking through a season of strange isolation lately. Friends suddenly pulled away from you without any real explanation. Doors that you prayed for slammed shut right in your face. You cried in your car when nobody was watching. You smiled kindly for strangers while carrying a massive weight that nobody else could see, and it felt like absolute rejection. But I need you to listen carefully. Right now, that strange isolation was never a punishment. It was a divine quarantine, orchestrated by the universe. God was forcefully removing toxic people from your inner circle. He pulled you away from the noise, because your next season cannot be entered with their chaos attached to your soul. You are a masterpiece. The system is terrified of what you are about to become. The elite matrix wants to keep you exhausted and stuck in survival mode. But heaven has issued a divine decree over your life today. A spiritual court date was set to judge the actions of those who harmed you, and that exact date has finally arrived. The judge is seated right now. What I am about to tell you will change your entire perspective. The malicious group that came against you is currently turning on each other in total fear. The dark confusion they tried to cast onto your life is returning to them instantly, while your mind is finally becoming clear and focused. Type 777 in the comments right now to claim this absolute breakthrough. You are about to witness incredible justice. For years they called you too sensitive and made you feel like you were the absolute problem. But that was never a flaw. Your deep sensitivity is a highly advanced spiritual radar. You detected their dark intentions long before they ever made a physical move against you, because you felt the heavy betrayal in your spirit before the evidence even appeared. You are a discerning warrior. They launched a smear campaign because they could not control your energy. They whispered your name in dirty rooms to convince others to hate you. They created a false narrative to hide their own immense guilt. They desperately needed the crowd to turn against you so they could feel powerful and justified in their cruelty. But the universe does not reward malicious manipulation. Right now, they are obsessively checking your social media and your daily life. They are waiting for a clear sign that you are finally breaking down. But all they see is your quiet strength and your unbroken spirit. It is driving them absolutely crazy. They finally realize that their dark energy cannot penetrate your divine shield, and you are totally untouchable today. The spiritual court is reviewing every single lie they ever told about you. The universe is acting as your fierce defense attorney in this monumental moment. You do not need to say a single word or defend your pure character to anyone. Before I reveal the exact verdict that heaven just handed down, you must understand how they trapped themselves. Stay right here. You have spent so much time blaming yourself for their sudden betrayal. You replayed every single conversation in your head to find your mistake. You genuinely thought that if you were just a little kinder or more patient, they would have stayed. But I need to stop you right there. It was never about your flaws. They did not hate you because you were weak or broken. They hated the blinding light inside you that exposed their hidden darkness. You carry a very rare spiritual frequency. When you walked into their environment, you instantly disrupted their comfortable illusions. They could not manipulate you like they did everyone else. You are a natural cycle breaker and a fierce, discerning warrior. The system trains ordinary people to operate in fear and low vibrations. But you refuse to conform to that toxic matrix, and your pure existence forces them to look at their own deep insecurities. People who live in the dark absolutely despise the light. Think about how much energy you poured into those toxic relationships. You constantly sacrificed your own peace to keep them happy and comfortable. You absorbed their heavy emotions because you are a natural empath. But instead of being grateful, they saw your immense kindness as a weakness to be completely exploited. They targeted you specifically because they recognized your divine calling. Even if you did not see your own immense value, yet they saw it clearly. Their malicious attacks were actually a bizarre form of spiritual recognition. They knew you were destined for greatness, and they desperately wanted to abort your spiritual mission before it started. You have felt so incredibly tired and drained for the past few months. You probably visited doctors or thought you were suffering from deep sadness. But you are not depressed. Your spirit is simply exhausted from fighting intense battles in the unseen realm, and you are acting as a human shield for people who never protected you. You felt entirely discarded when they launched their cruel smear campaign against you. It hurt to watch people you loved believe their toxic lies. But God allowed that massive storm to hit your life for a very specific reason. The storm was not sent to destroy you. The storm was sent to expose the dangerous snakes hiding in your grass. Your strange isolation is not a punishment for doing something wrong. It is a divine quarantine to protect your precious frequency. God had to forcefully remove you from their destructive reach. He knew that your next season of massive abundance cannot be entered with their chaotic energy attached to your soul. You are a masterpiece. There are absolutely no coincidences in the life of a chosen one. Everything you endured was a divine appointment to prepare your spirit. The pain was rigorous and silent, and you did not even know you were taking a massive test. But you passed the test brilliantly. You survived the brutal wilderness without losing your pure heart. You acted as a spotless mirror for those toxic individuals. When they looked at your genuine empathy, they saw their own massive failures reflecting back at them. They tried to break the mirror because they hated the ugly reflection, but they only ended up cutting their own hands in the painful process. They could never destroy you. Their aggressive smear campaign was nothing but desperate damage control. They knew you had finally figured out their manipulative games. They had to convince everyone else that you were the crazy one. If they ruined your reputation, nobody would listen to the powerful truth you carried. It was a calculated strategy of sheer panic. You need to stop viewing yourself as a helpless victim of their cruelty. You are not the immense pain you endured. You are the divine purpose that God placed inside you. You did not survive that dark season simply because you are tough. You survived it because you are chosen and heavily protected by the spiritual realm. You are officially released from the heavy burden of fixing other people. You no longer have to heal individuals who desperately want to stay completely broken. Let them misunderstand your pure intentions and judge your silence, because your sacred energy is way too expensive to spend on their cheap drama. You are stepping into a profound spiritual transition today. God is totally reframing your perspective on this entire painful situation. You are not starting over from the very bottom. You are simply finishing the rigorous preparation. The intense breaking you felt was actually the heavy shell of your old life cracking open. You are finally ready to emerge as the quiet victor you were meant to be. Before I reveal exactly how their dark group operates behind the scenes, I need you to do something. I need you to physically agree with this message. Type 777 in the comments right now to confirm your new clarity. Take a deep breath and prepare your mind. The secrets I am about to expose will shock you completely. Let us look closely at the group that desperately tried to destroy you. They are not just random people making simple mistakes because they operate under a very specific and dark spiritual frequency. They are energy vampires who thrive on your immense light. You thought they were your friends or loyal family members, but they were actually secret agents of the Matrix sent to monitor your progress. They never attack you directly in broad daylight. They work strictly in the shadows like quiet parasites. They attach themselves to your pure soul and quietly siphon your life force. And every time you patiently listened to their complaints, they were actively stealing your sacred energy to fuel their empty lives. You felt completely drained after just 10 minutes with them. Your body knew the truth. They smiled warmly at your face while secretly praying for your massive failure. They complimented your achievements, but their eyes always revealed a deep and bitter jealousy. They wanted proximity to your bright light so they could feel important and powerful in front of others. But they secretly hated the fact that you possessed a genuine spiritual authority they could never buy. They are incredibly hollow. They slowly created an invisible web to trap your mind in deep confusion. They used subtle manipulation to make you doubt your own crystal-clear intuition. When you finally noticed their toxic behavior, they immediately played the innocent victim. They twisted every single story to make you look like the cruel aggressor while they hid behind fake tears. It was a calculated campaign of spiritual warfare. Then they pulled back and waited eagerly for your total collapse. They sat in their dark circles and discussed your upcoming ruin with extreme excitement. They fully expected your finances to dry up and your spirit to completely shatter under the heavy pressure. They literally brought popcorn to watch the brutal burning of your entire life. They wanted to stand over your ashes and offer fake sympathy. But they made a catastrophic miscalculation regarding your divine protection. They forgot that a discerning warrior is never truly left undefended by the universe. Right now, there is a very specific and silent sign that proves your enemies are rapidly running out of energy. I will reveal that exact sign to you in just a moment. You absolutely need to hear this before the final verdict is read. Because you finally cut off their access, your light is no longer feeding them. They are currently starving in the dark without your endless empathy to sustain their fragile egos. They are desperately trying to find a new target to drain, but nobody else carries your pure frequency. They finally realize that they lost their greatest source of spiritual power. Your sudden silence is absolutely suffocating them. The group always relies on numbers because they have zero individual strength. They form weak alliances based entirely on a shared hatred for your undeniable greatness. But those dark alliances are already beginning to fracture under the heavy weight of their own massive karma. When toxic people no longer have a common enemy to attack, they always turn on each other. It is an unbreakable universal law. Now they are panicking because their smear campaign did not produce the expected results. You did not go crazy, and you did not beg for their worthless validation. You simply walked away and left them trapped in their own malicious maze of endless lies. They are terrified because they know the spiritual realm saw everything they did in the dark. Their ultimate exposure is completely unavoidable at this point. You were chosen for this specific battle because your spirit is virtually unbreakable. The Matrix sent its best agents to completely derail your divine destiny and steal your crown. They threw every heavy weapon they had at your mind and your precious heart. But here you are today, standing taller and stronger than you ever have before. You are a living miracle that they absolutely cannot comprehend. They secretly stalk your digital footprint while publicly pretending you do not exist. They create fake accounts just to monitor the incredible blessings that are naturally entering your life. And every time they see you smiling, it sends a massive shockwave of bitter regret through their empty souls. They are entirely obsessed with the very person they tried to destroy. It is a truly pathetic existence. They are starting to feel the terrifying shift in the spiritual atmosphere today. The protective shield around you is growing brighter and pushing their toxic darkness far away. They arrogantly thought they were the powerful judges of your entire life. But they are slowly realizing that they are actually the ones sitting directly on trial. The divine court date is rapidly approaching, and they cannot escape it. Before I go any further into this powerful revelation, I need you to pause and really feel this new energy. Drop your tense shoulders right now and take a slow and deep breath. The heavy burden of their toxic betrayal is no longer yours to carry anymore. Let the universe handle the messy details of their incoming punishment. The upcoming judgment will shock them entirely. You are about to see divine justice. I promise to tell you the exact sign that proves they are running on empty. The sign is the sudden stagnation in every single area of their lives. While you are experiencing deep internal peace, their circumstances are completely freezing up. They cannot move forward because they do not have your energy to fuel their engines anymore. Their spiritual bank account is heavily overdrawn. This brings us to the profound reality of the divine court date. You thought you were just waiting for time to pass and heal your wounds. But time was actually gathering irrefutable evidence for a massive spiritual trial. The universe did not ignore your silent suffering while they celebrated their fake victory. Heaven was meticulously preparing a devastating case against their toxic actions. In the physical world, you need to hire an expensive lawyer to defend your good name. You have to shout your truth loudly to convince the earthly judge. But in the unseen realm, the highest court operates on a completely different system. God is stepping directly into the courtroom as your fierce defense attorney today. He is taking your complicated case entirely pro bono. You do not have to speak. Think about the historical figures who faced massive betrayal by their own people. David was chased into the wilderness by a jealous king who wanted him completely destroyed. Joseph was thrown into a dark pit by his own brothers who hated his bright light. But heaven used those exact betrayals to position them for undeniable authority. Your story is following that exact same epic blueprint right now. The group thought they were the judge and the jury over your entire life. They handed down a harsh sentence of isolation and expected you to slowly wither away. But they forgot that their earthly court has zero jurisdiction over a chosen one. Their malicious ruling has just been officially overturned by the supreme spiritual authority. The real judge is finally striking the heavy gavel on your behalf. Your silent tears were quietly collected as primary evidence. Every time you chose to bite your tongue instead of seeking petty revenge, you submitted a powerful document to the court. Your absolute refusal to fight dirty gave your divine attorney the perfect ammunition to destroy their entire defense. They have absolutely no counter-argument against your pure heart. Their case is crumbling fast. You might be wondering why it took so long for this spiritual trial to finally begin. You begged for swift justice when the deep pain was still incredibly fresh. But a divine defense attorney always waits for the enemy to fully commit to their lies before springing the ultimate trap. God needed them to expose their true nature completely, so their punishment would be entirely justified. The delay was exactness. Gently like this video right now, as a physical declaration to the universe that you are in alignment. Do not do it for a simple algorithm. Do it as a spiritual seal to confirm that you accept this powerful legal representation. You are officially handing over the heavy burden of vengeance to the highest authority. You are stepping out of the stressful witness box and taking your seat in peace. The universe is pulling out the massive files containing every whisper they spoke in secret rooms. The shadows are being flooded with blinding light, and there is nowhere left for them to hide. They are realizing that their clever manipulation cannot trick a divine judge. The arrogant smirks are violently melting off their faces as the real evidence is displayed. Their panic is growing exponentially. You are standing on the edge of a monumental verdict. The spiritual atmosphere is incredibly thick with anticipation right now. The group is holding their breath because they feel the terrifying shift in the wind. They expected you to be absolutely dead and buried by this court date. But you are standing in the courtroom radiating a powerful and quiet authority. You are the ultimate survivor today. Before the final judgment is officially declared, you need to prepare your mind for the sudden impact. The universe is about to shift the scales of justice so violently that your life will completely transform. The things that were stolen from you are being calculated for massive repayment with heavy interest. You must be ready to receive this profound vindication without any guilt. Stay perfectly still. Listen to this next part very carefully because it changes absolutely everything. They wanted a public spectacle to ruin your reputation permanently. So heaven is going to use that exact same public stage to announce your complete innocence. The vindication will not happen in a quiet corner where nobody can see it. It is going to be loud and completely undeniable to everyone who doubted you. The tables are turning. This divine court date is not just about punishing those extremely toxic individuals. It is about permanently restoring your stolen honor and returning your massive peace. You are no longer the misunderstood outcast fighting for a simple scrap of validation. You are a vindicated warrior walking into a season of supreme abundance. Take one deep breath and prepare your heavy heart. The judge is about to speak. They built a massive cage for you very carefully. They forged every single bar with toxic lies and manipulation. They expected you to walk blindly into their trap and lose your mind completely. But the universe has a brilliant sense of irony when dealing with malicious people, and they forgot to leave a door open for their own escape. The very trap they designed to destroy your reputation is now their permanent prison. Every single lie they told about you is suddenly being investigated by the people they manipulated. The crowd is waking up and demanding real proof of your alleged crimes, but they have absolutely no proof to show anyone. And now they are sweating in sheer terror. You see, spiritual warfare works like a massive boomerang when it hits a chosen one. You cannot send dark curses to a pure spirit without severe consequences. The heavy energy they threw at you hit your divine shield and bounced directly back to their front door, leaving them entirely paralyzed. They are drowning in the exact same confusion. They are desperately trying to hold their fake reality together while the walls are caving in around them. The people they used as pawns against you are starting to ask uncomfortable questions. Their dark alliances are rapidly crumbling because nobody trusts a proven liar when the pressure gets heavy, and they are turning on each other like starving wolves. They looked at the calendar and truly believed you would be totally ruined by today. They expected you to be begging for their toxic mercy and validation. They wanted you financially broken and emotionally exhausted so they could swoop in and play the generous savior for everyone to see. But you never broke down. You never asked them for a favor. Your ability to survive without them is the ultimate insult to their massive egos. They cannot comprehend how you are thriving while they are actively starving for energy. The universe cut their main supply lines and left them entirely isolated in the dark, so they are experiencing the exact same painful isolation they planned for your life. The atmosphere around them is incredibly heavy with impending doom right now. They know the divine judge has seen their dirty hands and their wicked intentions, and there is no clever manipulation that can save them from the massive karma coming their way. The spiritual scales are violently tipping, and they are standing on the losing side. While they are frantically trying to patch their sinking ship, you are sitting in absolute peace. You did not have to lift a single finger to destroy their malicious plot. You simply stayed grounded in your pure truth, while they completely destroyed themselves with their own arrogant mistakes, making your silence the most lethal weapon in the war. But I need you to lock your attention on this next statement very carefully. There is a very strict rule you must follow right now to receive this total vindication. If you violate this one specific spiritual law, you could accidentally block the massive justice coming toward you, so you must promise to handle this next phase correctly. The universe is orchestrating a perfect storm of karma for their toxic camp. But you might feel a sudden urge to step in and watch the fire burn closely. You might want to send them a message just to prove that you finally won, but do not do it, because your interference will absolutely ruin the divine timing. Stay out of the messy destruction. The intense pressure is building up in the spiritual realm right this very second. The gavel is raised high in the air, and the final sentence is fully prepared. The group is holding their breath because they know they are completely out of options, and they are trapped in the mess they created while heaven threw away the only key. Let them sit in the dark confusion they eagerly built for your pure soul. Let them feel the crushing weight of their own toxic words and broken promises. You do not need to feel any pity for people who intentionally tried to bury you alive, because they dug a massive grave for you but accidentally fell into it themselves. Leave them in the dirt. You can feel the heavy chains breaking off your spirit right now. The draining exhaustion that plagued you for months is suddenly evaporating into thin air. Your energy is returning with a fierce intensity because the toxic leeches have been violently detached, and you are stepping into a profound level of raw spiritual power today. Take a deep breath and firmly brace yourself for the massive explosion of truth. The divine court date is no longer a distant promise on the horizon, because it is happening right now in real time, and the verdict is absolutely final. The judge is about to read the decree that will change your entire life forever. Are you ready for this? I decree right now that your season of suffering is permanently over. The universe is violently flipping the script today. Those who sat at crowded tables and mocked your pure name will panic. They are about to witness a massive and undeniable miracle. God is preparing a lavish feast for you right in front of their terrified eyes. You do not have to lift a single finger to defend yourself anymore. Heaven is stepping in as your fierce defense attorney right now. The dark confusion they cast onto your beautiful life is rapidly returning to their desperate camp. Watch them scatter as your divine peace becomes entirely untouchable. Their weak weapons are melting into the dirt. In the mighty name of the highest authority, I break every toxic cycle. The extreme poverty and long delay stops completely with you today. The heavy anxiety and those terrible sleepless nights stop entirely with you. You are the ultimate generational cycle breaker today. I decree that the suffocating mantle of survival mode is falling off your tired shoulders. You are no longer just surviving the brutal attacks in the dark. You are stepping out of the shadows and entering a season of massive abundance. Please breathe out that heavy trauma right now. The intense spiritual war you fought for your bloodline has been officially won. The enemy is completely defeated and their weapons are shattered into tiny pieces. The group that plotted your sudden downfall is drowning in their bitter karma. The universe is pulling the heavy rug out from under their fake reality. Everything they built on malicious lies is collapsing violently to the ground. They are desperately grasping for thin air today. Meanwhile, your solid foundation is heavily reinforced by pure spiritual steel. They finally realize that attacking a chosen one was a massive mistake. The profound debt they owe the universe for harming you is being collected. Heaven is demanding repayment with extremely severe interest today. Their toxic spiritual bank accounts are completely empty. They are spiritually bankrupt, and they have absolutely nobody else to blame but themselves. But the divine court date is not just about bringing harsh justice to the wicked. It is about massive compensation for the innocent victim who stayed incredibly pure. The universe is unlocking a mega deposit of wealth and profound clarity, specifically for you. The massive doors that were glued shut for years are blowing wide open. You are receiving your divine inheritance in this exact second. God is restoring everything the enemy tried to steal from your hands. You cried many heavy tears in absolute secret. Now you are receiving a massive wave of pure joy. For every toxic rumor they spread, you are gaining profound favor with powerful people. Your reputation is being violently restored beyond your wildest earthly dreams. You are officially taking back your stolen crown and your divine authority. The system is terrified because the Matrix cannot control an awakened chosen one. They wanted you financially desperate, so you would settle for worthless crumbs. But a massive shift just fractured their dark system permanently. You are holding the sacred keys to the kingdom today. The divine frequency of massive abundance is aggressively overriding the long delay. God is handing you the supreme authority that the elite circles tried to hide. You are not trapped at the miserable bottom of the barrel anymore. You are ruling from the absolute top, and your bright light is blinding your defeated enemies. You absorbed their toxic chaos for years so they could have temporary peace. It was a holy sacrifice that nearly destroyed your precious physical vessel. But heaven says today that your painful shift as the spiritual bodyguard is permanently over. It is time for you to be fiercely protected. You are being lavishly rewarded for your silent and faithful endurance. I declare that your mind is completely clear and your heavy body is fully restored. The invisible cords that connected you to their dark energy are violently cut. You are completely free from their manipulative grip and their toxic expectations forever. The heavy chains are broken and your glorious spirit is flying incredibly high. Watch as the universe clears a massive path for your upcoming victory parade. The people who doubted your divine calling will be forced to watch your incredible rise. They will swallow their bitter words as your life becomes a glowing testament of pure grace. You did not just survive the brutal fire today, you stepped out and became the absolute inferno. This is the exact moment your entire destiny completely changes forever. The judge has spoken, and the final verdict cannot be appealed by any earthly authority. You are entirely innocent and fully vindicated in the eyes of the universe. You are the ultimate victor in this incredibly dark and painful war. Take a massive breath and let that undeniable truth settle deep into your beautiful bones right now. The heavy storm clouds are officially clearing out of your beautiful sky. The golden sunlight of massive favor is shining directly on your tired face. You walked through the darkest valley without losing your pure and gentle heart. Now you get to stand on the highest mountain and claim your divine reward. The season of weeping is gone, and your massive harvest is finally here. The profound verdict has been officially delivered to your spirit. But receiving the massive blessing is only the very first step of this journey. Now you must learn exactly how to manage this new season of supreme abundance. Many chosen ones fumble their incredible reward because they lack the proper discipline to hold it. You must practice strict stewardship today. The most critical rule you must follow right now is absolute silence. Do not run to your phone to brag about your sudden victory. Do not post cryptic messages on the internet just to prove your toxic enemies wrong. When you try to rub your massive success in their faces, you instantly lower your divine frequency. You must remain entirely unbothered and perfectly quiet. Your wounded ego desperately wants to gloat and seek petty revenge, but your healed spirit knows that quiet authority is the most lethal weapon you possess. You do not need to explain your miraculous turnaround to anyone who watched you struggle. Let them look at your glowing life and wonder how you survived the brutal fire. Your absolute silence will confuse them completely. You are strictly forbidden from seeking any form of physical retaliation. The universe is already handling the messy details of their severe punishment. If you step in to fight them directly, you will disrupt the divine karma that is actively unfolding. You must completely remove your hands from the chaotic situation right now. The Supreme Judge does not need your earthly help. When you enter a room from this moment forward, your energy will speak for you. You no longer need to exhaust yourself by explaining your pure intentions to cynical people. You have entered the sacred sanctuary of quiet authority, and your presence commands deep respect. People will feel the heavy shift in your vibration before you even say a single word. You are highly protected. Let the toxic group totally misunderstand you and your divine purpose. Let them assume whatever dark lies they want to believe about your quiet withdrawal. You no longer owe any explanation to people who are entirely committed to hating your light. Your precious energy is way too expensive to spend on their cheap and repetitive drama. Keep your beautiful mouth tightly closed. As the massive financial blessings and new opportunities flood into your life, you must be highly selective. Keep your inner circle extremely tight during this profound transition. Not everyone who smiles warmly at your new success belongs in your sacred space. The enemy will send new agents disguised as friendly supporters to drain your fresh energy. You must use your fierce discernment. You must fiercely protect your new frequency at absolutely all costs. Because your spiritual light is burning brighter than ever before, you will attract many lost souls. But you are no longer the unpaid spiritual hospital for everyone who refuses to heal themselves. You can offer kindness from a safe distance, but you cannot carry their heavy burdens anymore. Protect your boundaries. The brutal war is over, and you do not need to wear your heavy armor to bed anymore. You can finally rest your tired mind and enjoy the massive peace you earned. Stop looking over your shoulder, because the people who chased you are completely paralyzed by their own karma. Take a very deep breath and step fully into your new royal identity today. You are a victorious warrior. Do not apologize for the incredible favor that is currently resting on your life. You paid a massive price in the dark wilderness to hold this level of spiritual power. You earned every single drop of the pure joy that is washing over your soul right now. Stand incredibly tall and refuse to shrink yourself just to make insecure people comfortable. You are a masterpiece of heaven. It is incredibly vital that you master this silent stewardship immediately. If you show the universe that you can handle this peace without becoming arrogant, you will receive even more. God tests your maturity through your ability to remain humble when you finally win. Let the quiet authority anchor your beautiful spirit firmly to the ground while your blessings touch the sky. You must completely forget the names of the people who tried to bury you. Do not let them take up any free rent in your elevated mind anymore. They are a closed chapter in a very old book that you will never read again. Your focus must remain entirely on the massive horizon of beautiful possibilities standing right in front of you. The painful past is permanently erased today. Every time you feel the old anxiety trying to creep back into your chest, you must boldly reject it. That heavy fear belongs to the old version of you who lived in constant survival mode. You are a completely renewed creation, stepping into the brightest season of your entire existence. The universe has perfectly aligned every single detail for your massive success and ultimate joy. You have walked through the darkest valley completely alone for a very long time. You carried the heavy weight of other people, while no one checked on your tired heart. But you survived the brutal fire, and you came out completely purified. Heaven knows exactly how much it cost you to keep your spirit pure in a toxic world. You are finally safe today. I want to speak a powerful prayer of divine protection over your life right now. I declare that an impenetrable spiritual shield is permanently sealed around your beautiful energy. No weapon formed in the dark shadows will ever prosper against your bright light. The malicious arrows sent by the enemy will melt before they even touch your sacred skin. Gently, like this video right now, not for a simple algorithm. Do it as a physical declaration to the universe that you are in absolute spiritual alignment. Your gentle action serves as a powerful seal to lock this massive blessing into your reality. You are actively claiming the profound peace that heaven has officially prepared for your soul. I break every lingering cord of trauma that ties you to the painful past. The toxic people who drained your precious life force have absolutely no access to you anymore. You are entirely released from the heavy burden of survival mode. I decree that your mind is filled with quiet stillness, and your physical body is fully restored to perfect health. Subscribe to this quiet sanctuary and turn on the bell immediately. You must do this, so the enemy cannot intercept your future divine messages. We are building a powerful fortress for the chosen ones who are walking out of the dark wilderness. Your presence in this sacred community strengthens the collective light against the failing matrix. Let the massive anxiety of yesterday wash away from your tired shoulders completely. You do not need to constantly look behind you or worry about the hidden traps. The universe has already swept the path completely clear for your next major steps. You are walking directly into a season of supreme abundance and effortless joy. The intense struggle is over. If your spirit brings a specific person to your mind right now, you must act. Share this powerful message with them, because heaven knows exactly who they are. They might be sitting in the dark, crying and thinking they are completely forgotten. Your simple act of sharing could be the exact miracle they have been desperately praying for today. Leave a specific word in the comments below, right now. We do not do this for public visibility or meaningless vanity. We do it as a profound spiritual seal of agreement with the High Court of Heaven. When you type your quiet confirmation, you are signing the divine contract of your ultimate vindication. You are officially accepting your new authority. Your glorious future is fiercely protected by the highest spiritual power in existence. The group that plotted your downfall is completely erased from your beautiful timeline. You will never have to fight those exhausted energy vampires ever again. God has permanently relocated your spirit to a frequency where they cannot even perceive your massive light. Please take one final deep breath and drop your heavy shoulders completely. Let the profound silence of this exact moment wrap around you like a warm blanket. You are a breathtaking masterpiece, created by the universe for a very specific mission. You passed the rigorous test of the wilderness, and you kept your gentle empathy totally intact. You won today. The profound peace you feel right now is your new permanent reality. It is not a temporary break from the exhausting spiritual war you fought for years. It is the eternal reward for being a faithful cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. The ancestors are watching your incredible victory with tears of pure joy in their eyes. You broke the dark curse. Step confidently into the bright sunlight, and claim your massive inheritance. The spiritual bank accounts of heaven are pouring unlimited resources directly into your hands. Use this incredible wealth and authority to build a beautiful life of quiet joy. You no longer have to explain your brilliant soul to people committed to misunderstanding your light. Stay beautifully grounded in your new quiet authority as the days move forward. When the massive blessings arrive, you must receive them with a grateful and open heart. You deserve every single ounce of the incredible favor that is washing over your life. Do not let any leftover guilt trick you into rejecting your divine compensation. You earned this absolute peace. The divine court has officially adjourned, and the victorious verdict is permanently sealed. Walk forward with absolute confidence, because the Creator of the universe is actively guarding your steps. You are a chosen one, and your magnificent light is changing the entire world. Rest in your supreme power today, and watch heaven move on your behalf forever.